All right, well, welcome everyone. My name is Rena Keene. I'm one of the founders of the Niles S&A Silent Film Museum, and I'm really glad you're all here. And we have this interesting connection with India. Now, why would that be the case? Well, there are a lot of folks from India that live in Fremont, and they come into our theater, and they say, I grew up watching Charlie Chaplin on television. Back in 2008, my one trip abroad, I went to Pordenone, Italy, to their film festival. They showed a documentary that was done by a woman from Australia. And she did this documentary about a man in India. This man was named Ashok Aswani, and he was an herbologist who also had started a Charlie Chaplin fan club. We became the only sellers worldwide of it. It's not released as a DVD, but we got to sell it as a DVD for quite a while and show it in our theater and such. And now it is finally available. If you look up the boot cake Aswani, it'll come up with it. Flash forward to watching on YouTube. I'm watching this guy dancing with a silver glove to the music of Michael Jackson, but he's a Charlie Chaplin impersonator. And then he got us connected with a guy who I felt that I knew, who didn't know me from anywhere, Dr. Ashok Aswani. So one of our kind supporters wrote a check so Dr. Aswani and grandson could come to America. And then Dr. Aswani, after celebrating 50 years of the Charlie Circle and 50 years of marriage and turning 75, died. Crushed us. But we have his grandson who is trying to carry on the legacy. So what we want to do is we want to show Talin channeling Charlie, and then we're going to talk hopefully with him. And then also we have another person who is live in person, is Amna Sheikh, and she is a granddaughter to Noor Mohammed Charlie. And you might say, who's that? She's going to tell you, and you should care. Okay, this is very exciting to us, and we are so happy to be able to talk about the global influence of Mr. Charlie Chaplin.
Hi, I'm Talin.
And I'm Elliot. Some of you know me.
And yeah, Elliot is visiting me in India, actually, surprisingly. That's really sick.
Surprise!
uh, so, my grandfather, Dr. Ashok Aswani, was the founder of Charlie Circle Adipur, and he founded the Charlie Circle in 1973. And I think it's now been 56 years that we are celebrating Chaplin, his legacy. And every year it's like a birthday bash on 16th of April. Yeah, that's how we celebrate him, his life, his ideas, philosophies. And I lost my grandfather in 2023 November, and it's been really difficult ever since. But I would like to share something is that I remember one friend of mine, he asked me um, that, oh, Talin, are you like doing something this year on 16th of April in Adipur? Like, are there any plans? And I remember telling him that there always will be plans in Adipur on every 16th of April. So, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to still continue, yeah, the legacy. So with Charlie Circle, the ideology behind Charlie Circle is that when it was started was to just celebrate my Nana's obsession with Chaplin, with his love and devotion for Chaplin, and he was really intrigued and curious and really fascinated with the ideas of his movies, and he really wanted to impart that to people. He really found um, a lot of peace in that, and he kind of wanted to celebrate it and wanted to continue that idea in the world. But what I have been trying to do, especially after I lost Nana, it's like, I'll be honest, I'm still figuring it out. You know, um, I mean, we do know that obviously we are celebrating 16th of April every year. That's like without a doubt. But um, what my I think initial idea was to, for me, I think when I grew up, I didn't see Chaplin for the first time. I saw Nana dressed as Chaplin, and I saw kids watching Chaplin movies and dressed up as Chaplin all around me when I was growing up. And so for me, I think um, Chaplin is my Nana, and I want to celebrate him and his love for. So like, uh, you devote yourself to someone. I want to celebrate the guy Chaplin and the devotee. That's my Nana, and his love for Chaplin. So that's what I've been trying to do, and yeah, I'm kind of figuring it out right now. um, I think Chaplin is
Maybe I'll ask you the questions.
okay. That would be great.
That would be great.
Thank
okay.
you.
Are we on 3?
No, I think we are on 6.
6? Oh my.
Oh wait, no, 4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
My bad.
Number 4. Do you like Charlie Chaplin? Are you as obsessed with him as your Nana?
I love Charlie Chaplin, but I don't think I can compete with my Nana. On his obsession. Like I think he worshipped him. I think we have like small shrines at homes, like real, like little Hindu temples at home. And I remember seeing other deities and Chaplin's statue. I mean, I don't have Chaplin's statue in my shrine, so I'm clearly not there. But I think I'm more obsessed. I think I would like to add is that as obsessed my Nana was with Chaplin, I am equally obsessed with my Nana. So I think that's what it is.
Can you speak about other impersonators of Chaplin in India?
Oh yes, I mean, so there's like what comes right on by the top of my head. It's Raj Kapoor, it's Kamal Hassan. I think that's what I remember. Yes, and so there's this really famous song, "Mera Joota Hai Japani." It's in Hindi, and it's where Raj Kapoor tries to like really. So I think what Raj Kapoor did in Bollywood with the Chaplin's idea was to maybe romanticize it more, make it more like more fitting for the silver screen. You know what I mean?
Romanticize what?
Romanticize, like it's more like involved in like love situations, like social situations, like interactions. I mean, this is what my idea or perception about it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think Kamal Hassan was like really physically, like really analytical about the performance, and he really tried to like have the Chaplin-esque physicality in his films. I think a few films I'm not able to remember, but yeah, that's what the impression is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Raj Kapoor, he had Awara and
Yes, and Shri 420.
Shri 420. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think he also similarly had social commentary
Yes. Oh,
in
yes.
his films. He used that kind of vagabond type character.
I think that was the era of such kind of films, you know.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, it was like really relevant.
Mm.
I mean, I think Chaplin is always going to be relevant no matter. I think humanity is never out of style. So.
Well, that's kind of the next question. How will Chaplin be relevant for future generations?
Just
Walk right into it.
Yes. I didn't memorize. Okay, I did not. You can ask me the next question.
Okay. Oh, okay. Do you think Nana is proud of you?
Ooh. I hope so. I mean, he kept telling me, but hey, you know, it's really hard to believe.
Mm.
I mean, I have this real big fear that I'm failing him.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know. But at the same time, I remember like him telling me that, you know, you do you. Like, it's you. So I'm like, okay, I kind of make it my own. I can, you know, try to incorporate it, maybe take it forward what I think would be right, you know, but still there's like a lot of weight is what I feel on my shoulders.
Mm.
It's like, I don't know. So yeah, I hope so he's proud of me. I want to make him proud.
I would think so.
Thank you.
I mean, here you are. You made it.
Also, a quick hi to Jason. I see you. I mean, I saw you briefly. I don't know, somewhere. Hi, Jason.
Hey.
Just give me big hugs. I miss you. Hi.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Talin.
Thank you, Reena Masi. Thank you for having us.
Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming out so much. This is fantastic. I don't often get to talk about my grandfather, but I love doing it. He's been an icon. He's a legend in our family. He's a legend in Indian cinema. He was the Charlie Chaplin of India. He started acting at age 17 and became Charlie. Everybody in India knew him as Charlie. He took that iconic character and made it his own. All these social commentary films, all these comedy films, it started because of him. And it's really amazing to have that kind of legacy in your family and that history with all of this. And so what I'm really blessed to have here is a lot of my extended family. We've got my mom and my aunt and my cousin here as well. And if I can convince them, maybe they'll come and share a little story about their dad throughout this. But otherwise, we'll continue going, and I won't make them embarrassed to stand up and hold a microphone, and that's okay. Yes, okay. So we'll talk a little bit about his roles, but this is just his filmography. This is literally, it's about 70 films, just under. This doesn't include the films that he directed, that he produced, that he wrote for, the songs that he did. You know, Talin talked about that song, Mere Juta Hai Japani, that Raj Kapoor did. My grandfather wrote it. He started all of these things. That song that got real popular, Ek Do Teen, that Madhuri Dixit sang in the 80s, my grandfather wrote it. All of these things, all of these legacies started back here. This is the history. This is where we are. This is where we've all come from. And this is where Charlie in India took its roots. This is just So when he was a character, he was the character. He's in it, that physical comedy. He started out in the silent films and then moved on into talkies and was huge and was known throughout India and around the world as much as anyone can be in an era where there was no internet, there was no production or anything like that. People knew Charlie. So as a silent film pioneer, he was there at the beginning of the silent film era. He did all of that physical, expressive, I'm gonna throw myself on the ground, I'm gonna just be kooky and quirky and whatnot. And it literally took 3 films for him to become the Indian Charlie, right? That was his 3rd film ever. And that got him known and it got him established. and everybody knew who he was, and that's what got comedy really in Indian cinema. Because before that, it was pretty serious, right? It was very dramatic, and it was all this, here's all these complicated love stories and whatnot. And he went, I can be funnier than that. And we can entertain the audiences, and we can make this happen. And it really changed that visual landscape of what films could be, whether you can talk in them or not, but what production could be, and how to popularize film and theater. So Bollywood itself changed because of him, and because of what he could do, and that envelope that he could push. We were looking at some film historians and said, Noor Mohammed developed a style of comedy of his own, which influenced the comedians like Johnny Walker and Mahmood, who influenced people like Raj Kapoor and like Talin's grandfather, right? That's that generation that started it. Everything came after. And it's really fantastic to be part of that legacy and to be able to see who he was and how he did that. There's just a little clip here that I think you guys might enjoy. This is from his movie Sanjog.
जो सुन पाए सासन नदिया डारेंगी 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 पंख मरोर 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 पपीहरा काहे मचावे शोर शोर पपीहा बस तुझे मेरी कसम चुप रह जरा रात अभी आने को है जालिम तुझे क्या हो गया तेरे पीहू पीहू करने से वो बेवफा याद आए हैं तड़पाए है और दिल जुदा तड़पाए है नदी का किनारा मोलन वोटर मोर का पंखा पतली 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 उंगलियां फूलों की सैर हाय रे हाय ये बड़े खाए जो सुन पाए साथ नदिया डारेंगी 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 पंख मरोर 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 पपी है काहे मचावे शोर शोर शोर
So one of the things that you guys didn't get to see, but I did, is my mom and aunt singing along with this song and remembering their dad and laughing and crying. And it's really a beautiful moment sitting up here and watching them, not having seen their dad on the screen in years now. But my aunt reminded me that my grandfather had gone to the opera before this. And that's the inspiration for this song, is those opera singers and how they carried notes and things like that. And so he incorporated that into his comedy so that you're drawing audiences from all over the place if you can have that experience and bring it all together. And yeah, this is him singing live. This is not dubbed recordings, which is what a lot of Bollywood is. So it was, I think that was 1942, if I remember correctly, that Sanjog came out, but something around there. But in the 30s, 40s, 50s is when his real rise to Bollywood superstardom was happening. We saw a little bit of one of his comedies, one of his songs, but he's done a lot of social dramas and musicals and all of that. He worked with all of the major studios, all of these things as a foundational structure to what we know of as Bollywood today started here. At the height of his fame, he was earning more than serious actors. These people who would bring in, like the Clark Gables of their time, he was earning more than them because he was Charlie, right? His legal name he just became Charlie if you asked for it. If you were looking for an actor, you just said, give me Charlie. It wasn't, I need Noor Mohammed, I want to find this guy. It was, give me Charlie. And Charlie would show up, and often with his entourage of children. Because it truly was an entourage. There's a whole lot of them. And yeah, absolutely, yeah. And because of that, when they emigrated from Pakistan to the US, all the men in the family took Charlie as their legal last name. The women kept Muhammad, but there's a whole slew of American Pakistanis with the last name of Charlie because of him and where this came from. So that honorific title has carried on and is part of who we are. We've got businesses named. My sister, for example, has a business named FS Charlie because of him. So we've all kind of kept that in our hearts and our lives because this legacy is very real, right? We've had people who've been interviewed who actually know the film industry and are in the Indian film industry saying that all the comedy that's in Pakistani and Indian cinema is due to his influence. So this is not just me being egocentric about my grandfather. So a couple of his film posters that have survived. Unfortunately, a lot of them haven't, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the ones that have lasted. And by today's standards, yes, a little ridiculous, but they're fun and they're out there and they show just who he is, that he was getting first billing over some of these real well-known stars of his generation. So after partition, things changed, right? In the late 40s, 50s, things changed because India and Pakistan now are no longer one country. He still kept working. He was working in both India and Pakistan kind of during that transition period. He brought those film traditions from India into Pakistan. So, we hear about Bollywood and then we hear less so, but still about Lollywood, the Lahore film industry, so the Pakistani version of that. That started there. He's bringing those comedy traditions and bringing that life in there. So his screen personality came across in both of those regions, right? So he is taking all of this comedy genius that he had and all of that and founding Pakistani comedy cinema. So it was really awesome as he was getting all of those done. Really the pioneer of the Pakistani film industry, getting all of that comedy going, getting those talkies going, getting cinema going because of who he was. Yeah, please. There was no Pakistan when he was born. Yeah, so he was born in India, Gujarat, correct? Yeah. He was born in Gujarat in India in 1911. Partition happened in 47. Yeah, thank you. You give me my history lesson.
Maybe you should explain what partition is.
Yes.
Some of us may not have that world history.
Yeah, absolutely. So as many people know, the British occupied, as part of the colonialism that they did, occupied British India. When the British left in 47, Pakistan and India split into two separate countries. And pretty much along religious lines, Muslims went to Pakistan, Hindus stayed in India, in a very broad sense of history. My grandfather moved his family, the whole, I think there was like 8 of them at the time, into Pakistan around that time. There was a bit of a transition. I have an aunt that was born in Mecca, and so her name is Makia, very creatively, because it was during that transition period as they were making that move. So, and then my mom being some of the younger ones, ended up being born in Pakistan. Her older siblings, most of them were born in India, because there just was no Pakistan before then. So we've got a couple more of these real goofy film posters, but I love them. So really what this all has been about is legacy and who he is and what he is. And I know I kept going on about his early screen career and really setting the tone and setting up what we know of as Pakistani and Indian cinema and becoming all of that. But it's so much more than that, right? He's a legacy in our family as well. He's a legacy throughout, the comedic world. People know him. People still know him and talk about him. But there's 12 children. There's so many more grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And guess what? So many of us are in film, TV, publishing, arts of some kind. I have never met a neutral tone that I hated more. I don't know how to do subtle. And it started with him. None of us really do. He wasn't just an actor, he was an institution. And he made us all who we are and was the foundation for so much of who we are and how we function. So this is the man I remember. That's me in the little hat. And that's my mom sitting next to me. And this is how I remember him. I would perpetually be finding chocolate in his pockets, stealing things out of him and being fed some sort of sweet or the other, because that's what I wanted. And the eldest granddaughter gets what she wants. Oh, I have no shame in it. He's older than me. He didn't get that because there's another boy above him. Oh, there's 2 of them, actually. But then just some friends hanging out at our house when we were little. And he was a bit of a pool shark. I just felt like this made him really human, right? As he's out and hanging around and just being Nana. This is Mom's wedding. So there's my grandfather, my mom, my grandma, and that's Dadi, isn't it? That's my dad's mother on the far side. So, and then this is him towards the end. This is who I remember. And in our San Diego house, crawling on his lap and pulling chocolates out of his pockets. So as much as he was legacy, as much as he was this big film star, he was such a family man as well. And this is our legacy, as well as the legacy of cinema and film, that very human person behind it all. So this I wanted to show because it cracks me up every time. This was his car growing up. You remember what I said? That he had 12 kids? They all fit in that somehow. I'm still trying to figure out the physics of that, but I've been told that there were children sitting on the baseboards, that there were children sitting on top of each other, that they were all crammed in there. Yeah, in Mumbai, the Indian Film Museum in Mumbai apparently still has this car. So, but what I really wanted to kind of show, and I know I'm missing some of the grandkids on here, but this is our family, and this is our legacy, and all of these colors are those of us who have touched in the arts in one way or another and have been involved in that. This is the legacy, right? It's not just the film and the cinema and the history and the comedy. This is all of us. And this is what we've made of our lives. And a lot of this gray is because, like, my niece is 6 years old. She hasn't figured it out yet. They're working on it. One of them was just born last year. But we'll figure out what they're gonna do at some point in their lives. But we are all, in one way or another, I've got one cousin here who's like, nah, I don't do nothing. Right. But exactly. But there's so many of us that in one way or another, whether it's our full-time job or not, have this need, this desire to express our creativity in one way or another. And it's his history, right? It's that, you can say it's genetics or whatever, and that, sure, may be part of it. But it's also the nature of the man who allowed his children permission to be creative in a time where it was so hard to do that, right? We all know the cultural trope of if you're not a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, you're nothing. He was something else. And he let his family be something else. And he let them be successful in their own ways. I know, we still have the doctors, lawyers, and engineers. So we are all very educated. We've all got our degrees. We've all done a lot in our lives. But we have a creative streak in us as well, which is kind of awesome. And I just kind of want to end with, his legacy isn't just his films. It's his style of comedy. It's his family. And it all still echoes through just generations of life and will continue to do so. And that's really the most beautiful part of all of this.
All right. Thank you. So now, did any of you have a question? I had a feeling. Yes.
Not to take away from your grandfather at all.
Yeah.
But I think he would recognize that Chaplin was a very strong influence.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very curious about the earliest of his exposure and how that might have happened. Do you know anything about that history and how the films got to India at what time and that sort of thing?
I'm going to ask my aunt, actually. How did Nana first learn about Chaplin?
Ever since he was a little boy, his father was a businessman. He was a businessman. But my father didn't want to do business. He rebelled. Okay? And he was a taboo at that time to join the film industry. I mean, it was like, oh my God, this is not the work of a nice man, Nobody. Yeah, really, it was a big taboo. So who's going to marry you? They're not going to marry you.
They're not going to marry you if you become an actor.
Yeah. So it was really, but he would hide from his father. He would go and see Charlie Chaplin's films. And miss schools. Nobody knew.
Yeah, I'm wondering, he worked with the toothbrush mustache.
Yes.
And India, as part of the British Empire, fought against the Nazis in 1940. I assume the Great Dictator was shown in India. That was not banned. Did this affect his work at all?
No. Nothing had to do with that. Nothing had.
Stayed away from that, stayed in the comedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was not very political of any kind. The British ruled India for 100 years, 200 years. Okay, so at that time, of course, my father wasn't there, but anyway, things changed a lot. Before that, whole India was ruled by Muslims, empires, emperors. And then the British came and threw them out and blah, 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 as everybody knows the history. Anyway, so my father was never political. His father was a businessman. He made sure he didn't marry any actress.
Being an actor was okay, but he could not have married an actor.
Oh, no, he couldn't. So he brought a very homely, my mother, who had never seen a movie.
She'd never seen a movie.
Yeah, because...
Married a woman who'd never seen a movie.
Yeah, his father made sure of that, that he would not do that. So, I mean, it was very funny how my father would, he married a simple girl, homely woman, didn't even know how to cook. He taught her cooking. And the funny part that I remember of my father when we migrated to Pakistan after everything that happened, he'd never flown. He had never flown. That was the first time he got on the plane. And he was afraid because of flying. And he would go by trains to do the shooting because the directors would wait for him. Where is Charlie? He's coming. He's not flying. Okay, that's how it was. Anyway, so when he got on the plane, he was not even being funny. He went to the pilot and said, please drive slow. I thought that was so funny, when you talk about it. And anyway, That's how much I know. But he was a great man. He was very much young at heart all the time. He was a comedian. Even when he was talking to people, people would crack up. He would go to parties and they would say, "Hey, let Charlie speak." And he would talk and they would be rolling in laughter. I miss him. But
didn't know much English, but
he didn't know. He could talk, he could, and he did 4 languages. He could speak Marathi, which is a language in India. He did Gujarati, which is a language in India. He knew Hindi. So he was a man of, number of things. Unbelievable. My father was unbelievable.
But he did live in America. He lived in California for a
Yeah. Then when kids moved here, see, when children moved here, my first brother moved and he brought us all here, and then Papa left Pakistan.
the song that he sang.
Yes.
The 3 pigeons in front of him. What was the song about? And they were singing along.
Yes.
And also, did your grandfather ever meet Charlie Chaplin in person?
No, he never met Charlie in person. That song was romantic. Not that it really looked it, but the premise generally beforehand is that the governor's daughter has set her sights on him, and he's now singing of, "Am I into it or not?" Basically, should I do it? Should I not do it? And is kind of talking himself into, should I just, I don't know, but let's do it. Yeah, he was asking himself and talking it out loud to the pigeons.
All right.
Oh,
Last question.
As a resident of Fremont,
yes.
I have very little understanding of the geography of the states of Pakistan and India that we're talking about. Can you identify the 2 states, the one in Pakistan and the one in India, that would be most pertinent to this film?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest part of the film industry in India was taking place in Mumbai, and kind of that area that's where the film industry was established. When partition happened and the family moved to Pakistan, they settled in Karachi. Where the film industry is today is more in Lahore, kind of a little further north. And that's where that Lollywood name comes in. That's how that Bollywood from Bombay and Lollywood from Lahore kind of were established. But our family was rooted, he was born in Gujarat, and then Gujarat. And yeah, no, of course. And then they were in Bombay, Mumbai, and yeah, and that's where he grew up. That's where most of my aunts and uncles were born. And then they moved into Karachi eventually, and that's where he did a lot of his filming. Yeah, he still did film in India. It's not that there were no cross-border things happening. Yes.
Are his films still shown in India?
Occasionally. Yeah, it's at theaters like this.
I want to thank very much Amna Sheikh and her family.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate being able to talk about my family and who we are and bringing that to Fremont.